For my project, I'm covering the 9/11 terrorist attacks that occurred at the World Trade Center on September 11th. A little background on 9/11. Construction was completed on the World Trade Center after decades in the making in April of 1973. It became home to various financial companies which were eventually privatized in July of 2001. The World Trade Center became a popular attraction for tourists as it became a popular view on the New York City skyline. On the early morning of September 11th, the attack is suspected to be funded by the terrorist organization Al-Qaeda, with Osama bin Laden behind it, as well as the 19 hijackers with American visas on 4 different planes. The United Airlines Flight 175 and American Airlines Flight 11 were en route from Boston to Los Angeles on the early morning of September 11th. At 8:46 a.m., American Airlines crashed into the North Tower after being hijacked, and about 20 minutes later, at 9:03 a.m., United Airlines crashed into the South Tower, killing everyone on board. There were also crashes in the Pentagon and in a field in Pennsylvania. All aboard were killed. About 2 months after the World Trade Center attacks, the Transportation Security Administration, TSA, took effect at every airport in the U.S. with its main goal of thoroughly checking every person who is boarding the plane. This has been very effective in keeping Homeland Security safe. Promptly after the attacks, Muslims were targeted in racial and hate crimes, and this became a major issue within the Muslim community because the people who hijacked the planes were of the Muslim religion, and people wanted to find someone to blame, essentially. It took 9 months for the debris to be cleaned and for it to be removed. The construction on the new World Trade Center was completed in 2014, as well as a huge memorial where the towers originally stood. And the memorial has the names of every victim aboard the planes and who were named in the buildings, essentially. A couple of money points that I still need to figure out is how many people are still missing from the attacks, because there are still different numbers that I find whenever I look into this incident. And could this incident have been prevented if TSA were in effect? Because essentially, like, if the hijackers were searched or even like questioned in a certain way, like, this whole event possibly could have been avoided, but I'm still not completely sure, and I do think that's something that we should really examine, because I do feel like planes are much more safer now than they used to be. Further research I like to do. There's still a lot of information that is unknown about 9/11, such as the death toll, as I mentioned before. And in future research, I like to explore how this event affected security in airports and things of that nature, as well as financial loss and some things about the racial bias against Muslims. Because I did notice that previously, before TSA was around, like, I'm not exactly sure how much security we had with travel, because now we have metal detectors and scans and things of that nature. And since the World Trade Center was home to different financial companies, I'd like to explore how much this affected the economy and those companies in general. Thank you for watching.